Welcome to Podcast Mythbusters by Blubrry Podcasting. Is it a myth that RSS-based podcasting is dying? Rumor has it that the open RSS podcasts are on life support, or at least that's what YouTube and Spotify want you to think. Spoiler alert, that rumor's baloney, and I've got the data and 2 decades in the trenches to prove. Let's bust this myth. I'm Todd Cochran, founder of Blubrry Podcasting. I'm host of the Geek News Central podcast and co-host of the new media show and Podcast Insider. That's a mouthful. Been doing this since 2004 and a louder than ever advocate for open podcasting. I've got over 2,000 published episodes, a spot in the Podcast Hall of Fame, and more crash tests with new tech than I can count. If RSS was dying, and I've seen the coroner's report by now. Now, here's what the myth spreaders say. The audience is not listening anymore. YouTube's killed the podcast star. Big platforms only care about walled gardens. Big platforms do only care about walled gardens. There's a lot of truth in that. Sounds scary, but let's look under the hood because that's where it's really, really important. U.S. listenership, 48 million Americans, 12 plus, hit play on a podcast every month. A progressive jump every year, and it's been going on since the beginning. Global reach, roughly 505 million people worldwide will listen to a podcast in 2025, up more than 40 million in just 12 months. Exploding topics, hard to call that a death spiral. Advertisers don't pour dollars into a dying format. U.S. ad spend hit $2.3 billion, and it's still climbing towards what they project $2.6 billion by 2026. A recent audio ad snapshot, podcasting outpaced every other digital audio segment, surging 26% year over year, even while music streaming stalled. Brands go where audiences go, and they're marching straight through open RSS. But Todd, YouTube, yeah? YouTube's a big player, and guess what? Almost every show lighting up that algorithm still starts life as an RSS feed, exported from a real podcast host. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and even YouTube stitch RSS feeds into their back end. The open spec keeps the podcasting catalog full across the entire podcasting space, even Spotify. Of course, Podcasting 2.0 features, which we're big fans of, include transcripts, chapters, value for value, splits, live item tags. It's all kind of techie talk, all right on top of open RSS. Every week, independent developers ship new features that push the medium forward. Closed gardens cannot iterate that fast. Companies with shareholder decks like to control end-to-end distribution. And a scary headline about RSS being dead nudges creators into a cozy walled garden. Don't confuse corporate publicity with industry health. Follow the money. Many of these narratives surround monetization. The honest truth, not everyone's goal is to monetize. I did have the goal to monetize, and my open RSS podcast has been monetized for 19 plus years and made not a dime on YouTube. I've always said, own your feed. You can never be deplatformed. Register a domain to have a place for your show. Of course, host with Blubrry. That gives you raw RSS access and all the advanced features of Podcasting 2.0. We're big on that. We want you to check it out. Of course, mirror or duplicate, but don't migrate. Pipe episodes to YouTube and social apps after the RSS feed goes live. Implement Podcasting 2.0 features. Future-proof your show and give listeners a richer experience. If you're an old pro or a new podcaster, always educate your audience. Tell them why open feeds matter. Freedom to listen on any app. No gatekeepers or anyone throttling reach. RSS, which is a bunch of crazy code that no one really understands. That is the last bastion of free speech. As a listener, you don't care. As a podcaster, it's really important. It's the bloodstream of podcasting. If someone tells you it's dead, just laugh and subscribe them to your show on a modern podcast app and let them take their show anywhere. If you got value from this myth bust, hit subscribe, smash that bell, and share it with a creator friend who's being lured off the open RSS. I'll be back next episode taking on another myth buster. Stay open, stay independent, and keep podcasting. My name is Todd Cochran. And of course, this has been a Blubrry Podcasting Myth Buster.